Love it or hate it, Resident Evil has had quite the memorable moments throughout the franchise. Some of them weird, like the boulder events, whether you run from them or you punch your way through them. All these weird animations from Resident Evil 6. Does anybody know why they exist? Anyway, one thing that we can all agree on are the side characters, which made Resident Evil titles stand out even more. In this video, we'll be going over Resident Evil side characters, and we'll discuss the side characters that we would love to see them return. So at the end, if you find this video interesting, then please make sure to subscribe to my channel because I'm sure you're gonna love the content. And links to my social media like Instagram and Discord are in the description. Consider checking them out if you're interested. Now let's get into the video.
A little rough, don't you think?
Billy. In Resident Evil 0, we play as Rebecca, a STAR's medical support member, who finds herself stuck on a train, but she finally finds Billy. Billy is a true badass, especially with that outfit of his and his hairstyle, and the backstory that he has had. He has killed almost 30 people and has escaped the law. At the end, Rebecca decides to let Billy go. This is the last time we see Billy, and he's never heard of again. I really hope to see him return one day. Hunk. Along Merchant, Duke, and Ada, Hunk is one of the few mysterious characters that are in Resident Evil franchise. No one knows who he is, and everybody loves him, and he is truly dedicated to his job and mission, and the only thing that he thinks of is to get the job done. Among all Resident Evil characters, Hunk is the only one who wears an apocalyptic suit, which lets him stand longer and hordes of zombies. He was lastly seen in Raccoon City, which means he appeared in every Resident Evil game that was related to Raccoon City. Now, no one knows if he actually survived that incident, but one thing that we're sure of is that we want to see him return. Carlos. Resident Evil 3 introduced us to the mercenaries, not the game mode actually the mercenaries who had to extract the civilians. Carlos was one of them. He was in Raccoon City when he was at his early 20s. In Resident Evil 3 Remake, he got an overhaul redesign, which made him even more believable. He helped Jill in Resident Evil 3 and also cured her, but at the end he was disappeared and never heard of again. He deserves a return for sure. Parker. I know you might be against me, but listen to this one. I recently played Resident Evil Revelations 1, and I gotta tell you, I loved Parker's character. His background and also his accent made him a really believable character. And at the end, when I saw him escape the ship with Raymond, it was a true moment of relief. And after the game finishes and we see the post-credit things, we see that Parker is now okay and is doing his job. So I guess he's a high potential character to be returning. Joseph Kendo. I know this might sound a bit weird, but trust me, Resident Evil 2 introduced us to Robert Kendo, Joseph Kendo's brother, and they're both gunsmiths and have their own gun shops. Also, Joseph Kendo designed the Samurai Edge. In Resident Evil 2 1998, we saw Robert Kendo gets killed at the very beginning, but instead in the remake, his character was developed and worked on even more, and he was even more believable, and we were able to play as him in a DLC. But at the end, Robert Kendo dies, and it's all on Joseph Kendo right now, the only Kendo brother remaining, who's the designer of Samurai Edge. I think now it's a good time to let Joseph Kendo return to the franchise, the legendary gunsmith. Also, it is worth mentioning that in Resident Evil Village, we saw a book written by Joseph Kendo, which is quite interesting, which could be referring to him still being alive. Jake Miller. Well, Resident Evil 6 had 4 main characters, Leon, Chris, Jake, and Ada. Jake was the main character in the 3rd campaign, who partners up with Sherry. Though I do believe that it could have been a Sherry campaign as well. But as a young character, he's a really high potential character, especially with his charisma and the characteristics and the backstory that he has, being Wesker's son and being immune to the virus. At the end of Resident Evil 6, we saw him go to a deserted type of city and start helping people. So does it mean that he could be returning in Resident Evil? Who knows? Let me know your ideas down in the description. So before getting to the last 2, I would like to talk about the ones that we don't want them to return. But before getting to them, something really quick. If you have come so far and enjoyed this video, then please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Now let's move on. Helena Harper. Well, you may like her, but in Resident Evil 6, Helena was Leon's partner. And to be honest, she was not the type of character that I could connect to. And I would really love to know your opinions. But anyway, something really cool about her. Did you know that Helena Harper was gonna be Angela from Resident Evil Degeneration? And if you take a closer look at them, you will understand that they both look similar. And also the voice actors are the same. And if you're asking the reason why she was changed, I don't know, I have got no idea. Raymond Wester. Resident Evil Revelations 1 did a very good job at storytelling and music, especially music, but it had two characters, more specifically Raymond and the other girl with that weird outfit, you know who I'm talking about. I didn't really connect to these two characters. I mean, Raymond's vibe was some Ashford family vibe, but I really didn't like him, and I don't think anybody wants him to return, even though in the last cutscene we saw him cooperate with the same lady that I talked about, with the weird outfit. Ashley. Well, I don't really think that she needs an explanation right now. Just listen to him shouting. God, I don't want to see him shout anymore. That's enough of her. I don't really think that she deserves a returning. Now enough with the ones that we don't want to see him return. Now let's get back to the topic. The ones that we would love to see them return. Piers Nivens. Chris's partner in Resident Evil 6 was Piers. He was not actually in previous Resident Evil games, but if you did not know, he was actually in a comic. And in the comic, he was a rookie. At the end, he sacrifices himself to save Chris. Or does he? I mean, we don't see him return anywhere, and we neither saw him die, since he turned into a BOW. You know what I'm saying? He is a high potential and also a beloved character, and I'm 100% sure that everybody would love him to return. And last but not least, Sheva Alomar. I don't really think that Sheva needs an explanation because she was the best side character in the whole Resident Evil franchise. I mean, she gives you ammunition, she partners up, she heals you. I know everybody uses her as inventory in the game, even though it might sound a bit weird. Trust me, I did the same thing. And the fact that he partners up with Chris and helps him out from time to time, especially in the quick time events, well, really makes her an outstanding side character. Something really interesting, I read somewhere that in the CGI movie Resident Evil Vendetta, instead of saving Rebecca Chambers, Chris and Leon were to save Sheva Alomar. Apparently she was changed for some reason at the last stages of the project. I don't know, I really love both Rebecca and Sheva Alomar's character, but I would really love to see Sheva return. And that'll do it for this video. Resident Evil characters that we want to see them return, plus the ones that we don't want them to. Make sure to comment down your ideas down below. And if you have come so far and enjoyed this video, then please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And links to my social media is down in the description. Consider checking them out if you're interested. I'm a Raccoon City survivor, and as always, thanks for watching.